Yo, what's going on, True Fam? Welcome back to the channel. It's Whiteshadow, and today, guys, we got another USB microphone shootout. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Alright, today, guys, we are pitting the Blue Yeti against probably one of its biggest rivals to ever come to the market, the Beyerdynamic Fox. We recently reviewed this mic, and it's just a fantastic condenser USB style microphone, and it really goes toe to toe against the Yeti in both price point, the features that it has on it, and just the overall build quality, and of course the great heritage that Beyerdynamic has behind it, just like Blue. Pitting these two against each other is going to be really cool. I can't wait to see what the results are and what you guys think about these, but let's go ahead and break down the differences and kind of the similarities between these two mics. Alright, so there's a lot of similarities between the Yeti and the Fox, and it's kind of crazy because you look at the Beyerdynamic Fox and you really see the kind of standard that the Yeti has made for USB microphones. Both of these microphones are condenser microphones, no matter how you look at it. Both of them have condenser style capsules. They both have mute button. The Yeti does have a mute button on the front of it, just like the Beyerdynamic Fox does here. They both have headphone monitoring system. They are both USB microphones, meaning they will plug into any PC. You can even use these on your mobile device as long as it will take a USB signal. Neither of these microphones needs drivers or any kind of external software to use. They both have a frequency response of 20 hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz, and they've got fantastic sound. Both of these are very versatile, but that's where the similarities end. Starting with the differences here, we're going to take a look at the Yeti. The Yeti can do 4 different polar patterns, so that's cardioid, omnidirectional, bidirectional, and stereo. What all of that means is the Yeti can do conference calls, it can do podcasts, you can record 2 people sitting on either side of the microphone, you can have a stereo signal, so that's your left and right channels. It does a lot of things really, really good, and that's kind of cool to see a microphone like the Yeti's caliber be able to do so many things very, very well. It makes it a multi-use, multi-purpose style microphone. Whereas the Beyerdynamic Fox over here only has 1 condenser style capsule, the Blue Yeti has 3. So there is 3 that are in kind of like a triangular pattern, and that allows it to do all of those multi-patterns differently, the different polar patterns that we just talked about. And they are 14 millimeters in diameter, which means they are smaller, but they do pick up your voice very nicely. The Yeti has a 120 decibels of dynamic range. Pretty great for a condenser microphone. The Yeti, I've never really had a problem with it picking up my voice and really showing off like the different broadcast style tones of my personal voice. People, if you really dial this thing in, you can get some great sound of it. It does need a little bit of tuning, but that dynamic range is pretty sweet for a USB style microphone, and I like to see that on the Yeti. Now, one downfall of the Yeti, in my opinion, is the resolution. It's got 48,000 hertz of resolution, whereas a lot of these new mics coming out has a lot higher bit rates for resolution, meaning you're going to be able to get more dynamic range and things of that out of them. For the price that you're paying, I would really hope that you would get more dynamic range out of this thing with the resolution, but 48,000 hertz will do for most recordings, and that's what makes this a great streaming microphone, because you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. The Yeti is a great example of what a stream content creation microphone should be, and that's why so many Twitch streamers use it. That's one reason why the Yeti is one of the top selling microphones on the market. But that brings us to the Fox. Everything we just talked about the Yeti, there is tons of differences between these two mics. There's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences. One being, this is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. The Fox has a studio grade large diaphragm condenser mic. I don't know the exact size of it, but I do know it's larger than 14 millimeters. I want to say it's somewhere around in between 16 and 30. They don't really put it out there. You can definitely tell the difference in this thing and how it picks up your voice. It's also got great rear rejection, whereas the Yeti does not. The Yeti is going to pick up a lot of echoes. It's going to pick up a lot of noises across the house when you're streaming if you don't have a controlled environment. Still, this is going to pick up some noise, but it does a little bit better at rear rejection. And if you tap on the desk, this one doesn't pick up as much rumble from the desk at like this the Yeti does. I do recommend getting a boom arm for both of them though, just because it helps keep all of the rumble down. Another big difference between these two is the Fox really only does one polar pattern, and that's the cardioid polar pattern. That's what I'd say 80% of all the microphones on the market do, and it does it really good. Whereas the Yeti does a lot of things decent, but not, it's like the jack of all trades, but the king of none. That's kind of the theme with the Yeti. This one does cardioid and does it super sweet. Just like you would have in an XLR condenser style mic, this does it. Now, whereas the Yeti had 120 decibels of dynamic range, this one has 10 more decibels, 130 decibels of dynamic range, meaning it's going to cover a lot more. You'd think that 10 decibels isn't that much, but it is when it comes to recording. You'll find out when we switch over to the Fox here in just a second, because all of the audio up to this point has been recorded with the Yeti. Now, the last difference between these two awesome microphones here is the Fox has 24-bit, 96,000 hertz of resolution. This microphone definitely has a lot more playback and a lot more versatility to it in the resolution side. All of your recordings are going to sound higher grade. This is going to be good for if you have to record videos and spit them out to YouTube. It gives you a lot of different editing properties that us streamers like to have in case we're posting stuff online. These two microphones are very, very similar. They're both on that same upgrade path, and now we're going to figure out which one sounds better. So let's go ahead and check out the Beyerdynamic Fox and see how it sounds. And I'll talk about what both of these mics are really, really good at and where they shine. Alright guys, so we switched over to the Beyerdynamic Fox, and I'm going to talk about what I like about both of these microphones and my personal usage and what I see as their like most defining attributes. And just because I've used the Yeti for almost 2 years, and I've been using the Fox for a while too, and my time with the Fox has been awesome, just like the Yeti has been. And I'm looking at this from kind of a beginner standpoint, or somebody that wants to upgrade from a headphone mic or Blue Snowball or like the Fifine K670 even. So let's go ahead and talk about the Yeti and my time with it. So the Yeti is a fantastic microphone. It's done me very well. I still use this mic from time to time on stream because it does pick up audio very, very well. Almost too good, but we're not going to get into all of that. You guys know how I feel about the way this thing picks up. It is a great condenser mic. It's a great starter mic. It's one of the most used in the world. It is the most sold microphone in the entire world. Streamers, content creators, musicians, just about every person that needs a mic has a Blue Yeti in their arsenal because of how versatile it is. It can be a field recording microphone, it can be a conference call microphone, it can be a podcast microphone, you name it, this thing can do it. The Yeti is kind of the jack of all trades when it comes to a microphone. It's everything you could ever want. This thing is plug and play. I've had nothing but great use out of this thing. The upgrade path that you would go from like I said, the Fifine, the Snowball, all of that stuff should come here. This should be the benchmark of what a USB microphone should be. And I think that's kind of what Blue has made here, is the benchmark. The Blue Yeti is just a fantastic mic. I love this thing, and personally, one of my favorite mics on the market, as much as I give it a hard time, because I feel like Blue needs to go back and kind of restructure this thing and get it with the current times, because now we have the Fox. So let's talk about the Fox for a second. You've got USB Type-C, you've got kind of future-proofed with the resolution, you've got a single cardioid polar pattern here, and it's just, the Beyerdynamic Fox is what I imagine a studio-grade USB microphone to be, because we're in the digital age now. Eventually, I foresee XLR going away and everything being powered by USB, because we are just in that age where everything's becoming digital. So I foresee microphones start to gear towards something like this, and I think this is kind of a glimpse into our future. The Fox, it just shines. I mean, the sound is good. It gives me plenty of editing room with that resolution. The dynamic range is phenomenal. It's got headphone monitoring. It's got a mute button. It's just good. It comes with a pop filter. I mean, you don't even have to buy an external pop filter like you would with the Yeti. You just have all of these great things about it. The sound is just perfect. It's built right there in Germany, and the attention to detail on the build of this thing is fantastic, backed by a great warranty, and just I like both of these microphones. I really can't pick a winner. That's why I leave this up to you guys. But both of these microphones, no matter which one you go with, I'm going to leave this to you guys, which one sounds better. But no matter which one you guys go with, you're getting two fantastic USB microphones. Definitely worth a look if you're upgrading your audio on your stream. These two microphones are going to make your stream to sound a lot more pleasing. Your voice is going to be very present. These are your guys, along with a lot of the other USB microphones that I've got here on this channel. And we're going to be doing more shootouts with the Beyerdynamic Fox really soon. So stay tuned to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to leave a like on this. If you guys like this, give me a thumbs up. And guys, in the comment section, please tell me which one of these microphones sounds better in your opinion and which one you would pick up. But guys, that about wraps it up for this video. Be sure to follow myself on all social media. Be sure to follow my stream where you can catch a lot more of this stuff. Me talking about the tech that we review here, as well as tech that we use for streaming. Also, be sure to take a look at TRUgaming because we've got some sweet stuff coming up. And be sure to follow them on all social media so you can keep up with all of the happenings around the Tru fam. But guys, like I said, that about wraps it up for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Whiteshadow out.